Hello, New York Yankees fans. We have brand new exclusive videos and the latest news for you. Before we get started, we'd like to invite you to join our channel and give this video a like. It's crucial to get exclusive access to the latest updates. The baseball world has just been shaken by one of the most dramatic twists of the season, and the news coming out of New York is nothing short of explosive. Reports are flooding in that Aaron Boone, the manager of the New York Yankees, has been officially relieved of his duties. It's the kind of headline that stops fans in their tracks, sparking debates in living rooms, sports bars, and across every corner of the internet. Boone, who has been at the helm of the Yankees since 2018, always carried the aura of being both a player's coach and a lightning rod for criticism. For years, he stood in that high-pressure dugout with the weight of history, the shadow of legends, and the unrelenting demand for championships pressing down on him. Now, just like that, it's over. His tenure ends not with a victory lap, but with whispers of frustration, unmet expectations, and a decision that feels like it was both inevitable and shocking all at once. The Yankees' front office, long rumored to be growing restless with mediocrity and missed opportunities, finally pulled the trigger, leaving fans to question if this marks the start of a new era or just another chapter in a story of squandered potential. Reactions are pouring in at lightning speed, and they couldn't be more divided. Some fans are celebrating, convinced that Boone had overstayed his welcome and that the team desperately needed a fresh voice, someone who could shake up the culture and restore the ruthlessness that once defined the Yankees. Others, though, are stunned, even saddened by the news. They argue that Boone was never the real problem, that the issues ran much deeper, from roster construction to injuries, to a philosophy that leaned too heavily on analytics and neglected the fiery instincts that old-school fans crave. Social media is ablaze with takes, hot and cold, from "finally, the nightmare is over" to "be careful what you wish for." And while the world debates Boone's record and legacy, the larger question looms like a storm cloud over the Bronx. Who comes next? Because firing the manager is only step one. What matters most is whether the Yankees can find someone capable of handling the unforgiving spotlight, navigating the egos of superstars, and bringing back the rings that fans believe are their birthright. Inside the organization, whispers suggest this decision had been brewing for weeks, maybe even months. Tensions reportedly escalated behind closed doors, with the front office questioning Boone's in-game decisions, his bullpen management, and the perceived lack of fire in the clubhouse. There were murmurs that certain players felt too comfortable, that accountability wasn't being enforced, and that Boone's approach, while calm and player-friendly, failed to ignite the competitive edge needed to topple rivals like the Astros or the Red Sox. Add to that the relentless scrutiny from New York media, every loss dissected under a microscope, and it created a pressure cooker that was bound to explode. What's interesting is that this move wasn't made during the off-season, when changes often come quietly. Instead, it's happening in the middle of a campaign where every game carries weight, sending shockwaves not just through the Yankees, but across the entire league. Rival executives are already speculating about who will be tapped to step in, whether it's a seasoned veteran manager or a bold gamble on a fresh face. For the Yankees, this decision signals urgency. The kind that says enough is enough. The future begins now. Aaron Boone's story with the Yankees is a complicated one, filled with highs, lows, and unforgettable moments. He was, after all, a hero in pinstripes before ever stepping into the dugout as a manager, forever remembered for his iconic walk-off home run in the 2003 ALCS against the Red Sox. That legacy made his hiring feel almost like destiny, a marriage between past glory and future ambition. His early seasons as skipper brought plenty of regular season success, 100-win campaigns, and playoff appearances that hinted at brighter days ahead. But as the years went on, the frustrations mounted. Postseason heartbreaks became a recurring theme, and while the Yankees remained competitive, they fell short of the ultimate goal time and time again. Boone often became the face of that disappointment, fairly or unfairly, as fans demanded answers and accountability. Despite his ability to manage personalities and keep a steady presence, the lack of a championship defined his tenure. Now, with his departure official, his time will be judged through the lens of what-ifs. What if injuries hadn't derailed certain seasons? What if the front office had invested differently? What if one or two October moments had gone their way? The immediate aftermath of Boone's firing raises as many questions as it answers. Will this move galvanize the clubhouse or destabilize it? Some players were said to be loyal to their manager, appreciating his consistency and his willingness to shield them from criticism. Others may see the change as a wake-up call, a clear message that nobody is safe when expectations are sky-high. The timing of the decision suggests that ownership isn't content to write this season off. Instead, they're making a bold bet that a managerial switch could spark a turnaround. But replacing a manager mid-season is rarely simple, especially in an environment as intense as New York. The front office will need to act quickly, balancing the immediate need for stability with the long-term vision of where they want the franchise to go. In the meantime, fans are left in limbo, wondering if this seismic change will finally put the Yankees back on the road to dominance, or if it's just another symptom of deeper flaws within the organization. One thing is certain: this is no ordinary firing. This is a moment that could redefine the Yankees for years to come. For Aaron Boone himself, the future is equally uncertain. Despite the criticism, there's no doubt he'll attract interest from other organizations. His track record includes playoff appearances, experience managing under the most intense spotlight in sports, and a reputation for connecting with players. That combination makes him a candidate who could easily land another managerial role, or perhaps a position in broadcasting or the front office. Boone has always carried himself with professionalism, and it's unlikely he'll fade quietly into the background. Instead, his next chapter may come sooner than expected, with teams eager to harness his skills in a different environment, one less suffocating than the Bronx. As for his legacy in New York, it will always be polarizing. To some, he'll be the manager who couldn't get the job done. To others, he'll be remembered for holding the team together through turbulent years. Either way, his departure underscores a harsh reality of sports. In a results-driven business, sentimentality only goes so far. Boone's exit is a reminder that in Yankee Stadium, winning isn't just preferred, it's demanded, and anything less eventually costs you your job. Fans can't stop buzzing about the fallout from Boone's firing, and if you listen closely, you can almost hear the city itself arguing. Some believe this was the only logical step left, given how many years the Yankees have fallen short, while others insist it's a knee-jerk reaction to larger systemic problems. And in a way, both sides have a point. Boone didn't assemble the roster, didn't decide the financial priorities, and couldn't control the rash of injuries that plagued the team season after season. Yet when the Yankees failed to deliver in the postseason, it was Boone standing on that top step, forced to explain the losses and absorb the criticism. That's the nature of the job in New York. You don't just manage a baseball team, you manage an empire of expectations. And when the empire feels like it's crumbling, someone always has to take the fall. Boone's dismissal feels like a public acknowledgement that the patience of both ownership and fans had finally worn thin. Now, the question becomes whether removing him truly changes the trajectory, or if it's just a symbolic gesture to quiet the noise, at least temporarily. Behind the scenes, insiders whisper that Boone's relationship with the front office had grown increasingly strained. While he was known for following the organization's analytical approach, some in power apparently felt his execution lacked conviction. There were disagreements over bullpen usage, particularly in critical games, and frustration over an offense that often looked flat against elite pitching. More than once, speculation arose that Boone's calm demeanor was mistaken for passivity, that he wasn't fiery enough to jolt the team during slumps. Whether those criticisms were fair or not, they became part of a narrative that ultimately consumed him. Decision-makers wanted accountability, and Boone's inability to break the October curse made him an easy target. The irony, of course, is that his replacement will inherit the same flawed roster, the same media pressure, and the same relentless expectations. Whoever steps in will quickly realize that managing the Yankees is less about X's and O's and more about surviving the storm, balancing diplomacy with decisiveness, and delivering wins before the city turned against you. Boone's departure doesn't erase the problems. It just reshuffles the deck and raises the stakes. Around the league, rival teams are watching with curiosity, even excitement, at how the Yankees handle this transition. Some executives see opportunity, speculating that instability in the Bronx could open doors for other contenders. Others are already predicting that the Yankees will swing big in their search for a new leader, perhaps chasing a marquee name with championship pedigree. Names are being tossed around in the rumor mill, from former managers with rings on their resumes to rising stars eager to prove themselves. The Yankees, after all, can't afford a misstep here. Every choice will be scrutinized, every candidate debated, and every miscalculation magnified. But with the weight of tradition pressing down, the Yankees may feel compelled to aim high, to bring in someone who can instantly command respect. Whether that means an old-school motivator or a modern strategist remains to be seen. What's certain is that the baseball world will watch every move closely, waiting to see if the Bronx Bombers can reclaim their identity. Boone's exit isn't just a managerial change. It's a signal that the Yankees are entering a new, uncertain chapter, one that could either restore glory or deepen frustration. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. In New York, the fans are bracing for what comes next, and you can feel the tension pulsing through the city. Yankee supporters have never been shy about voicing their opinions, and the conversations are everywhere, from cab rides to coffee shops to late-night talk radio. For some, Boone was the face of underachievement, a manager who couldn't capture the killer instinct of the dynasty years. For others, he was a steadying presence in a chaotic environment, unfairly made the scapegoat for deeper problems. Either way, his departure has sparked emotions ranging from relief to nostalgia to outright anger. And as fans process the news, they can't help but wonder if the next manager will truly be given the tools to succeed. Because history has shown that even the most brilliant minds can struggle under the glare of Yankee Stadium lights. Boone's exit is the latest chapter in a saga that never stops unfolding. A reminder that in New York sports, stability is rare, patience is fleeting, and winning is the only currency that matters. The fans are restless, the pressure is mounting, and the future feels as unpredictable as ever. The players, too, are caught in the middle of this whirlwind. Some had strong ties to Boone, appreciating his ability to communicate and his willingness to protect them from media criticism. Losing a manager like that mid-season can shake a locker room, forcing athletes to adjust to a new voice and possibly a new philosophy. On the other hand, a fresh perspective could energize the group, sparking urgency and accountability. It all depends on who steps in and how quickly they can command the respect of the clubhouse. One thing's for certain. The Yankees roster is loaded with talent, but talent alone hasn't been enough. They'll need leadership, both from within the dugout and from their next skipper, to turn potential into results. Boone's dismissal, then, is more than just a managerial change. It's a statement to the players themselves. It says, no one is untouchable. No one is above the expectations of this franchise, and if you can't rise to the occasion, you too might find yourself replaced. It's a powerful message, one that could either inspire greatness or fracture confidence. Only time will tell how this team responds. As the dust settles, what remains is uncertainty, anticipation, and a sense of history repeating itself. The Yankees have been here before, making bold moves in pursuit of glory, sometimes striking gold, other times missing the mark. Boone's firing is a reminder that in baseball, as in life, change is inevitable. What matters is how you handle it, how you build from it, and whether you learn from the mistakes of the past. For now, fans can only speculate, pundits can only debate, and the organization can only hope they've made the right call. Because if they haven't, the fallout will be even more brutal than the disappointment that led to this moment. Aaron Boone's chapter with the Yankees may be closed, but the story of the Bronx Bombers is far from finished. In fact, it feels like it's just beginning again, with new questions, new possibilities, and new pressures waiting to unfold. The eyes of the baseball world are locked on New York, and one thing is undeniable. Whatever happens next will define not just a season, but perhaps an entire era of Yankees baseball. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.